You go. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our February 2nd council meeting. Groundhog's Day, and he did see the shadow, so 6 more weeks. Sounds like we'll have some groundhog stew because of that one. So first order of business is call to order and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The second item on the agenda is the reading of the sunshine statement and roll call by our municipal clerk, Mrs. Lauren Statz.
This meeting of the Dunellen Borough Council is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of February 2nd, 2026 was included in a list of meetings that was advertised in the Courier on January 8th, 2026, and as a teleconference was noticed on the official Dunellen website on January 22nd, 2026, and on the public bulletin board on North Avenue on January 22nd, 2026, and has remained continuously posted as the required notice. Mayor Salenta,
Present.
Council President Lance,
Here.
Mrs. Albertson,
Here.
Mrs. Rios,
Here.
Mr. Scott,
Here.
Mr. Sigmund,
Here.
and Mrs. Vandermark.
Here.
Item number 3 on the agenda is the appointment of mayor's appointments to boards, commissions, and authorities. Tonight, we're appointing Edward Weber, term to expire on December 31st, 2026, to the Marr House Restoration Committee. It's an annual appointment. Mr. Weber has been a great volunteer on the committee, and we thank him for his service. And as always, as a reminder, there are several volunteer opportunities amongst our committees and commissions and our emergency services. If anybody is interested in volunteering, we would appreciate it. Our community is built on the backbone of volunteers, so thank you. Okey doke. Item number 4 on the agenda is proclamations. We have 2 this evening, recognizing February as Black History Month and honoring Diana Steris for her years of volunteer service to the Borough of Dunellen. First up, we have recognizing February as Black History Month, and we are privileged to be honored with the presence of Mr. Aiden Mitchell, who is here to read the proclamation. So, Aiden, if you wouldn't mind joining us here. Here's your proclamation, my friend. What grade are you in, Aiden? 6th grade? Okay, so you get to go to school tomorrow and tell everybody you presented at the council meeting. I think that's pretty cool. There you are, my friend. You go, my friend.
Whereas Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans in a time for recognizing their central role in U.S. history, and whereas Black History Month was preceded by the establishment of Negro History Week by Carter G. Woodson and the Association for the Study of African American Life and History in 1926. And whereas the 2026 theme for Black History Month, a century of Black history commemorations, which highlights the evolution of Black history from a week-long celebration to a month-long global recognition of Black life, culture, and critically the ongoing efforts to protect, teach, and center Black history amidst modern challenges. And whereas the Borough of Dunellen recognizes the contributions of African Americans to our borough, county, state, and country, and reinforces our commitment to be a community of opportunity and hope for every citizen. And whereas the Borough of Dunellen celebrates its rich cultural and ethnic diversity, respecting each of our neighbors, friends, family members, and business owners based on the content of their character, and whereas our community is better because of the diversity of our population. Now, therefore, I, Aiden Mitchell, on behalf of Mayor Jason F. Cilento, along with the support of the Dunellen Borough Council, do hereby recognize February as Black History Month in the Borough of Dunellen and encourage residents to join us in celebrating and honoring the history and culture of the African American community throughout this month. Signed on the second day of February 2026.
Good work. So we wouldn't mind. There you go. So Aiden, we spoke earlier, and I encouraged him, maybe he'll be one of the council members or future mayor up here one day, so we're foreshadowing it, right? And I'd like to recognize Aiden's father, Gregory, who is one of the newest members of the Dunellen Board of Education, so congratulations. So, do you mind if we get a photo with you, my friend? That's all it was.
Mayor, just watch your photos. You got the.
Mayor down. You want to introduce your mom too? No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. No, that's for you. You get to keep it. Thank you, Aiden. Next is a proclamation honoring Diana Steris for her years of volunteering in Dunellen. I'll just recognize Diana was very much involved with Walk to School and other events, as well as with the police department and her association to the Dunellen Municipal Alliance, and Mayor's Traffic and Pedestrian Safety Task Force. And she recently retired, and unfortunately, I think to our community, she moved to Delaware. So, but here we are. We wanted to recognize her service nonetheless. Whereas Diana Steris has dedicated over 20 years of volunteer service to the Borough of Dunellen, demonstrating an unwavering commitment to health, safety, and well-being of the community. And whereas she previously served as the chair of the Dunellen Municipal Alliance for 10 years, leading initiatives on substance abuse prevention, hosting community education events, and working to develop ordinances aimed at improving public health and safety. And whereas Diana has been a longtime advocate for pedestrian and roadway safety, collaborating with John P. Faber Elementary School, the Dunellen Borough Police Department, and community partners on various student and traffic safety initiatives, such as International Walk to School Day, Bike to School Day, the All-Wheeled Sports Rodeo, and the Use Your Head Helmet campaign. And whereas she served for 3 years on the Mayor's Traffic and Pedestrian Safety Task Force to further advance traffic and pedestrian safety programs and awareness throughout the borough. And whereas Diana's work has left a lasting mark on the Dunellen community through her leadership, collaboration, and volunteerism that will continue to benefit our borough for years to come. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Jason Cilento, and the Dunellen Borough Council recognize Diana Steris for her years of service to Dunellen, thank her for her countless contributions to our community, and wish her the best as she enters a new chapter. Signed this date, February 2026. So thank you, Diana, and also to her husband, David, for the years that they provided to our community and the volunteering. So good work for that. Okay, item number 5 on the agenda is the approval of our meeting minutes of January 20th of 2026. Do we have a motion and a second?
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Rio?
Any comments, additions, or edits to the meeting minutes of January 20th as they currently stand? Without hearing any roll call, please.
Mrs. Albertson? Yes. Mrs. Lamb?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios? Yes. Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund,
Yes.
and Mrs. Vandermark.
Yes.
Item number 6 on the agenda, we have two, it's the introduction of ordinances. We have two this evening, 2026-01 and 2026-02. For those who are new in the audience today, and a nice little civic lessons, Mr. Aiden, for municipal government. Ordinances are the laws of the land, so they have to have two hearings in municipal government. They have an introduction like you're going to hear tonight. There's no real debate on it, just an introduction, a reading out of it. And then we have up to 10 days, and most likely it will be at our next council meeting, the opportunity for the public to come and make their comments and concerns known before council has the opportunity to debate it. So tonight we have two ordinances to introduce. Can I have a motion and second on 2026-01? An ordinance to amend the general legislation of the Borough of Dunellen Municipal Code, Chapter 256, Streets and Sidewalks, Article 1, Snow and Ice Removal, Section 3, Failure to comply, removal by borough assessment of costs.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Albertson.
Mr. Miller, Mr. Robertson, if you wouldn't mind just kind of addressing what this is.
This is, in terms of the enforcement of snow and ice removal, the current ordinance provides that the snow and ice has to be removed from sidewalks within a designated time frame, that's to be 24 hours. And that it was amended in order to permit the borough DPW, in the event that they're non-compliant, to create a safe situation by conducting the snow removal, but then charging back the cost of the snow removal from the DPW to the property owner, just to make sure that the sidewalks will remain safe and open, but the borough does not lose any money as a result.
Okay, thank you. So with that on record, can we have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund,
Yes.
and Mrs. Vandermark.
Yes.
Item number 2 for introduced ordinances is 2026-02, an ordinance to amend the general legislation of the Borough of Dunellen Municipal Code, Chapter 233, Sewer Use, Article 1, General Regulations, Section 37, Sewer Rates.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Vandermark.
So for the record, this is the sewer utility ordinance setting the rates. This one is setting it to $3.75 flat rate, and then moving to next year in 2027, that flat rate, and then a usage fee beyond that rate as we build out a 10-year capital improvements for our sewer utilities. And this, of course, sewer utilities funds those improvements. So that's what this ordinance will set up a structure for. Mr. Robertson or Alex, Mr. Miller, would you like to add to this, or?
No, Mayor, it stated was for the, that we had to amend the order and put in place with the slight increase that we pass on to the residents.
Okay, thank you. Hearing that summarization, roll call, please.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund,
Yes.
and Mrs. Vandermark.
Yes.
Okay, as noted, these two ordinances can be found at the clerk's office or online for your review, and will be heard publicly at our next council meeting, in which public can address it to the council, and council has the ability to deliberate on them for any further amendments, et cetera, or pass as it currently stands. Okay. Item number 7 on the agenda is resolutions. We have resolution 62 through 66. Mrs. Stats, if you can read them out and give council and I the opportunity to discuss them if there's any need to.
Resolution number 62 is to pay the bills.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Albertson.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamb?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund,
Yes.
and Mrs. Vandermark.
Yes.
Resolution number 63 is to appoint Lindsay Braverman as a fire company member.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Vandermark.
Mrs.
Yes.
Albertson? Sorry.
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Abstain due to my position on the fire department.
Mr. Scott?
Abstain position in the fire department.
Mr. Sigmund,
Yes.
and Mrs. Vandermark.
Yes.
Resolution number 64 is authorizing the request to extend the NJDOT 2023 Transit Village North Avenue signage improvement.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Rios.
So this is an interesting one, and the interesting fact of how our state its bureaucratic red tape works. So this is the Transit Village grant for wayfinding in our downtown. We've been working on the proposals and the conceptual renderings of them. And we brought it to the NJDOT, which has jurisdiction over the state highway. And unfortunately, we're going back and forth on what these signs can do and say. They're arguing that we can't direct people to the train station parking and train station itself off of Route 28, which I find ironic because it's a transit village grant. But there's Jersey for you folks. So we ran out of time in our debate. Mr. Best, I assumed you would have enjoyed that one. In our back and forth with the state on this, so we have to request an extension because we just kind of find it a little moronic, to be honest with you, if they're not letting us put a sign that says this is the train station, you know, because that's honestly what this whole transit village concept is supposed to be about. But nonetheless, that's why we have to extend. So to keep the grant funds and also continue to, I guess, fight the good fight on a sign. So there we go. Right? I just, yeah.
All right, I'll take a roll. Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
And Mrs. Vandermark?
Yes.
Resolution number 65 is to approve 2 street fairs for the Dunellen Fire Company for 2026.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Albertson.
Good work on making it a Sunday. I think our business community will appreciate it.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Abstain due to my position on the fire department.
Mr. Scott?
Stay in position in the fire department.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
And Mrs. Vandermark?
Yes.
Resolution number 66 is a resolution in support of the Hudson Tunnel project funding.
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Rios.
So just like I went for the state, I'll go for the federal government too while we're at it. The federal government, President Trump, freezing the funds on the Gateway Tunnel project, not a wise decision from our perspective because that's impacting our residents who need to commute in and out of the city for work and entertainment purposes, but nonetheless impacts the region. So we're gonna hopefully pass this resolution to say, you know, the funding should be restored. It's important for economic development of the region, quality of life for the region. And yeah, there we go. Not a wise decision on the president's part in my view. So that's what this resolution is.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
And Mrs. Vandermark?
Yes.
Item number 8 on the agenda is consent agenda. Tonight we have resolution 67 through 74. Council, if you can take a moment to review. If there's any specific resolutions you would like us to pull to discuss, please let us know, and then we will vote on the remaining resolutions based on consent. Good. Okay, can we have a motion and second to take on the consent agenda?
Move it, Rios.
Second, Albertson.
Mrs. Albertson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lance?
Yes.
Mrs. Rios?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Sigmund?
Yes.
And Mrs. Vandermark?
Yes.
Okey doke. Item number 9 on the agenda is council reports. Councilwoman Vandermark, anything to report this evening?
I got two.
Oh,
Okay, during January of 2026, the fire department responded to 39 emergency incidents. Crews stood by and responded to several incidents during the recent snowstorm. Crews also assisted EMS with several calls clearing snow, assisting with lifting during the snowstorm. During January the 1st, they held the changing of the guard ceremony. On the 10th, they held their annual installation of officers' dinner. The 12th held an officers' meeting followed by department work drill. On the 25th, crews stood by to ensure quick response during the snowstorm. The 26th held emergency drill to clear snow from around the firehouse and open the sidewalks. The 27th, crews went around town clearing fire hydrants that residents of business owners did not address. Thank you to those that did clear their hydrants. And on the 28th, held a monthly fire company meeting. And the second one is the Plainfield Area Regional Sewer Authority will review all sewer systems on streets where New Jersey American Water installed new water mains in 2025 as part of its follow-up program to the New Jersey American Water projects. This is to ensure that our systems are safe and ready for paving in the summer. And that's it for tonight.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Rios?
Yes. Police Department, thank you to our police department for their continued efforts during winter weather events. On January 25th, 2026, 229 snow parking violations were issued to vehicles that were not removed from the roadway. We appreciate the residents working together to keep our streets safe and clear during snow operations. There is a new law, New Jersey e-bike law update. As of January 19th, 2026, New Jersey has implemented new requirements for e-bikes aimed at improving safety for everyone on the road. Class 1 and Class 2 e-bikes maximum speed of 20 miles per hour and Class 3 e-bikes maximum of 28 miles per hour are now classified as a motorized bicycle. To operate an e-bike, riders must have operation licensing, registration, and insurance through the New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission. Riders must be 15 years of age or older, and helmet use is required at all times. These updates help promote safer riding for both cyclists and motorists. Dunellen Public Library. The Dunellen Public Library continues to be a vibrant community resource and is currently seeking a library director. Master's in Library Science is required. We're also looking for a part-time bookkeeper and must know Quicken. Library programs are ongoing and the library welcomes ideas and suggestions from the community. So if there is a program you'd like to see, please share. Your input helps shape what's offered. Greenbrook Flood Commission. The Greenbrook Flood Commission will hold its next meeting this Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. via Zoom. Residents interested in learning more about the Commission's important work are encouraged to attend. Login information is available on the Commission's website. And just a community note, wishing everyone a happy Valentine's Day on February 14th. It may be cold outside, but a little kindness and warm hearts go a long way in brightening the season.
Yes, first I'd like to thank all of the emergency services and DPW for the excellent job they did during the snowstorm. Really did a wonderful job. It was very difficult, actually. Finance Committee, all departments have been working on their 2026 budgets, and recently they met with Alex Miller and Dawn Hutchinson as they reviewed their department O&E budget in the meetings. The departments reviewed their previous O&E budgets and discussed their 2026 O&E requests. DAICC is having a paint and sip on February 27th in the evening at Deli Cream, which is at 387 North Avenue. Please watch for Facebook promotions and to register. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah, for recreation, registration is now open for spring programs such as baseball, softball, and spring break camp. Baseball is offered to kids ages 4 to 8, softball to grades 1 through 8, and camp to ages 5 to 12. So please mark your calendars. The registration deadline for baseball and softball is March 9th, while the deadline for camp is March 20th. To avoid late fees, we encourage you to register today. Also, look out for more information about spring tennis coming soon. We are pleased to announce that registration for the summer camp is now open. This program is available to children ages 5 through 12 and will start on Monday, June 5th It spans 9 weeks, operating from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. with an option for late pickup until 5 p.m. Families can depend on our safe, well-organized, and reputable program to provide a fun and engaging summer experience year after year. As space is limited, we strongly recommend early registration. Please register by Friday, February 13th to benefit from the early bird discount. Do not miss this excellent opportunity. And that's all.
Okay, thank you, Council President. Councilman Sigmund?
Yes, so everyone, grab your hats and your mittens. I'll be starting with the DPW report tonight. So the January 25th storm brought significant snow and extreme cold to Dunellen. Our DPW crew worked through the night and into the following day to ensure all borough streets were cleared and treated. Following the initial clearing, the team spent the past week widening the crosswalks and clearing parking areas, specifically targeting the school area to ensure student drop-off and pickup remains safe and efficient for families. And while other regions in the New Jersey area are currently reporting salt shortages due to recent weather events, Dunellen's proactive planning has kept our salt supply fully stocked. And additionally, our mechanic division is servicing our fleet to ensure all equipment is ready for the remainder of the apparently 6-week additional season. We also want to thank Chief Scott and the Dunellen Fire Department for providing lunch to our crew during the storm. This kind of interdepartmental support is what keeps operations running smoothly during high stress events. Thank you and the crew. You even cook? Oh, man. Lucky you. And for the Board of Education, the board committees delivered a full slate of updates at their most recent meeting. While the full technical details are available on the Board of Education website, I want to highlight 3 specific operational moments where the board chose to pause or pivot based on new information. So it was identified that a temporary egress door was installed as a pull instead of a push, and this was corrected immediately. After receiving feedback on the proposed school calendar, the board postponed the vote to allow for a more thorough review. And regarding the superintendent's contract, following public comments, the board entered an executive session and ultimately removed the contract vote from the evening's agenda. Afterwards, there was a special meeting that was scheduled for February 27th at 6 p.m. at Lincoln Middle School to discuss the topic. And I'm highlighting these to not comment on the specific items, but to just highlight that the process, these instances honor a reflective stance that supports a healthy system of governance. Feedback is provided, the system listens, and thoughtful action is taken. And then, so for the facilities and operations, for the asbestos remediation, the project is complete and had received 0 violations, which is a significant win for our district's infrastructure. They also reported on enrollment trends that while the details are online, it does show a roughly 14% increase in enrollment since the 2020-2021 school year. Mr. Ross also addressed the new state legislation regarding cell phones in schools. It is critical to note that this is an unfunded state mandate from Trenton. It requires our district to implement complex strategies and allocate resources without any additional state funding. Navigating this will require both state guidance and the district's own resourcefulness to establish policies that help students, staff, and families thoughtfully navigate this transition. Also honoring legacy, the board honored Dave DiNapoli for his nearly 30 years of service to the district. He has been a fixture in our schools, and we wish him the very best in his well-deserved retirement. And that is it for me.
From being the football coach or everything?
I believe everything, like fully retired, but we were assured that he's not going anywhere and he will be around.
Well, he's Dunellen through and through. I don't think he's going anywhere. So, well, you know, everyone deserves to retire and enjoy their life. Just sad to hear that. He was my football coach. Yeah. Councilman Scott.
For a security camera system, Borough Hall, Police Department, and OEM, LTW has started running the wire for the new security cameras at the locations in Borough Hall. TK1 will be setting up the servers for both Borough Hall and the Police Department this week. And after the servers are installed, LTW will return to set up their system in the server room. And electrical upgrades have been completed throughout the borough offices, and that's the end of my report.
Wow, quick.
Nice and short one.
Well, I wish Mr. Coach Napoli, his retirement again, and it's just an end of an era here in Dunellen. That's, just,
Yep.
time moves very quickly. Okay, just, again, I'm gonna reiterate, thank you to the Department of Public Works for their hard work over the snowstorm that occurred, 2 weekends ago. As well as to our emergency services, our fire department, rescue squad, police department, OEM and CERTs, for the standby and the efforts that were done that night as well. And of course, to residents who dug themselves out on their properties and everything. Takes a village, my friends, and I know we're still digging out from some certain locations and, but it was a lot of snow. So we thank you for everyone's patience and cooperation. But speaking of snowstorms and how we're going to enforce moving forward, we did announce last week that we're going to, at future snow events, enforce towing. Because during the recent snow events, vehicles remain parked on borough streets despite notifications and prior citations, creating safety hazards and limiting snow removal efforts. And just so for the record, during the storm, over 220 violations were issued during that single storm and several dozens the one before. So the officers did a really good job on citing those who had their vehicles remained in the street. But so we're towing to ensure public safety and efficient snow removal, and we'll enforce towing for vehicles parked on streets during snow events in accordance with Borough Code 202-15C. Residents should plan to make alternate parking arrangements to avoid towing. Vehicles ticketed during a snow event that remains on the roadway after the storm, including those snowed in for multiple days, must be dug out and removed. Vehicles unable to be moved due to snow conditions may receive additional citations or be towed when feasible. Towing during winter conditions may result in additional fees, and we have towed a few vehicles since last storm that stayed on the streets and were snow was on them. We always promote it, and this is why we're going to go strong on it now, is because we have alternate off-street parking in the American Legion Post 119 allows us to park there, and in McCoy Park and Columbia Park. So if your vehicle is towed, report to the police headquarters at 355 North Avenue with your driver's license, vehicle registration, and proof of insurance. Vehicles are released only to the registered owner. Police headquarters will issue a tow release form and provide towing company information. All towing and related costs are the responsibility of the vehicle owner. Sorry that we had to come to this way. We tried ticketing, tried doing it the soft way, but sometimes when people just don't, I guess, listen, you just have to enforce the law harder. So New Jersey American Water completed its 2025 water main installation project several weeks ago and has confirmed that milling and paving associated with the project will take place this summer. That's in due because we passed an ordinance several years back that requires them to do so. New Jersey American Water will also replace water maintenance services on 2nd Street from Lincoln Avenue to Madison Avenue prior to the paving of the money for the grant, the NJDOT project. In addition, they plan to replace water maintenance services on the 200 block of Orange Street and on Fairview Avenue, areas that have experienced 3 breaks in the past 16 months. With all 3 mains scheduled for replacement in the coming months, followed by milling and pavement likely again this summer. And I think we were able to work with American Water to have upward of $25 million of improvements in Dunellen over the last several years. Is it about that?
Close to that.
Close to that? We'll say 20 just for record to be safe. I'd rather shoot under it. Okay, so yes, this probably will. So look, they're doing improvements. We want them to do improvements, and you know, I know council appreciates everybody's patience and cooperation there, because we know this past fall and winter was not the easiest to navigate around town, but just keep in mind, these are now systems in there that, well, frankly, none of us are going to be alive when they need to be replaced again. So it's a long time until we have to wait for the improvement again. So that's my report this evening. No council discussion. Item number 11, department head reports. IT, are we ITing?
Yes, we are. No new report, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Legal?
No report, Mayor.
That's good news. Thank you. When they don't report, it's a good thing. Clerk and registrar?
No report tonight, Mayor.
Okay, recreation?
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to anyone that was late to school today. the DPW clearing some of the snow and ice, some of the inner. So if you got the attention, I do apologize for that.
Okay, that's Alex Miller from our Public Works and Business Administrator. Lieutenant, anything from PD?
Start, no reports coming in. No report.
Okay. Chaplain?
No report.
I'm not skipping you over, don't worry, I'm just saving the best for last. Anything from Rescue Squad?
For January of this year, we had a total of 1,575 on duty and response hours. 36 calls for service, including 1 motor vehicle accident, 2 calls into Bound Brook, 1 into southbound Brook and 1 into Greenbrook. We were in service through the storm on the 25th. And we had 1 call transporting one of our own members to the ER the day after the responded to calls for the storm. We had an additional 234 man hours, including preparing reports, attending meetings, including borough meetings, and the full department meeting on January 19th, clearing the snow, maintaining our ambulances and camper, and 75 hours of training during the month of January.
Okay, thank you, Chief.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
no report.
Wow. That was not on my bingo card, I'll tell you that much, don't worry. IT's, Homework does a great job with OEM inserts, and that's why his reports are lengthy, because he does do so much stuff. But again, that was not on my bingo card, but I'll just say one last thing. This past Saturday, we had the Boards, Commissions and Authorities Summit, where the volunteers and their who volunteer with our committees and commissions sent a representative to the senior center, and we worked out, collaboration efforts, what the schedules for the year are. And I want to just say thank you to Billy George, our public information officer, for helping coordinate that and lead those efforts, because it helps with communication and transparency amongst the committees, and again, internal efforts amongst one of them. So good work, Billy. With that, there's no more department heads in this room, right? Okay. We'll move on to item number 12, which is public comments. We'll open the floor to the public. We ask that you please state your name and your residency, and the floor is all yours.
This is Carl Peter Clapper, 130 Front Street, Apartment 2L. And I have at least a couple of comments. One is, and I talked to the mayor about this, is that when we do the clearing of the streets, we're not as mindful of the obstruction that it creates in terms of the crosswalk, entering the crosswalk. And we still have a number of places in town that are blocked that way. Some of them are related to businesses, but a lot of them are just general inability to cross. In trying to go to the mall type area that's on North Avenue.
Train station plaza.
Right, so I had to I was not able to climb over the snow to get into the area. I had to go all the way down and go through the vehicle entrance in order to get to that part. And I had another situation, I think that was Madison Avenue, where I had a block there, and I had to climb up there and then climb off of it. And I had a little bit of a stumble. Fortunately, the vehicles around there were noting that I was having some difficulty, and so they inquired to make sure that I was okay. Being an old athlete, I know how to fall. So, but it is hazardous because you fall into traffic. And one thing going forward, when we have the plans of the intersections, it would be helpful if we had something that was more of a pedestrian grade intersection, where the pedestrians are able to stay on the flat level and the cars have to come up and come down. What this does is that it alleviates the problem of having when we actually have some melting occurring, of avoiding having the puddles that pedestrians have to step into in order to clear the intersection. And an old complaint of mine with regards to the way that the real estate pricing is done is that there's an old economic article in Political Science Quarterly #5, which is in the late 19th century, which pointed out the mortgage evil, which was a combination of the mortgage, which is a leveraging scam, and also the restriction of trade and clear violation of the Sherman Antitrust Act, where it's not allowing the price of real estate to come down when the demand has softened. So I would urge that we take some measures. We can take a gradual abolition of the mortgage, so a permanent moratorium on new mortgages, not affecting the current mortgages that are in place, but allowing the real estate prices to stabilize. And that would help immensely as far as people who are moving into the borough, who are setting up businesses in the borough, so that they'll be able to enter a market where they're able to enter it at a reasonable pricing for the real estate. And I think that's about it for tonight.
Okay, Mr. Clapper, thank you. In terms of the intersections, we exchanged an email earlier today. We
Right.
noted it. For property owners that did not do it, they are being cited. You know, it is their responsibility, but DPW is going around also on top of their normal working stuff that they have to do and cleaning up the intersection. So I have it written down, that specific intersection, and we can take a look at it tomorrow. And then we'll speak to the property owner, let them know that
Yeah,
it's,
there's a bunch of them where there's basically you have to take 1 foot to go. It's only a foot wide crosswalk.
well, as you heard from the ordinance tonight, we're trying to amend and fix things to address these in future storm events.
Yeah, a
Hopefully,
lot of these are you know, DPW might do wonderful work for the motorists or for the vehicles, but they need to be mindful of the fact that when they plow through, that they cover up the crosswalks, and so a lot of the homeowners, if I can just defend them a little bit here, is that they might clear their sidewalks fine, but the plows come through and they create an obstruction.
well, the thing is with the amount of snow that happened, and I don't want to get in a back and forth debate,
Right.
because we hear your concern and we get it, is the plows have to drive at a certain force to be able to get the snow moving. So, and unfortunately, that does create a higher, I guess, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know the physics of it. It does push the snow out, kind of like a snow blower, because they have to go at a certain speed to make sure that they're clearing the streets.
Right, but you could possibly have some people that would be part of DPW with some shovels, so that when it actually occurs, they are able to remove the amount of snow that's in the crosswalk passage. so that you have both the motor plows and also having some, people, hired to do that.
But we only have 7 guys in a square mile, so that's why it's a partnership between what we can do in the public right of ways and what residents are doing on their properties. So it's a partnership, my friend. So, we hear your concern.
Right.
We are citing those residents and business owners who don't do it. So hopefully they learn for the next one, and we are working on clearing out some snow on some, on some bigger intersections that like you just addressed in the email, that address.
Right.
I'm happy to hear that you're okay. That's the
Yeah.
most important thing. In terms of abolishing the mortgage, just letting you know, so long as I'm there, I'm not getting behind that. So, you bring it up a lot during meetings. I'm just respectfully, I'm not going to get behind that. I believe in home ownership. And,
Well,
but
it's
we,
not- it's-
I'm
it's
not,
a matter
sir,
of not
sir,
having
Mr.
home
Clapper, I'm not getting into an argument with you or debate on it. You stated it, I'm stating it, and then we're going to move to the next resident. We offer the opportunity of affordable housing. We are in compliance with the affordable housing ordinances and the state expectations, so we provide the foot in the door. We are having our first townhouse project in discussions right now that are going to offer affordable housing opportunities for somebody to get into ownership. And if you listen to the State of the Borough address, we're going to be looking at what's called the missing middle housing, providing opportunity for smaller housing dwellings in the redevelopment area so people can, like a college kid or a resident who is a senior who wants to downgrade, can afford to move into something and have ownership on it. So it's about creating opportunities, I believe, not abolishing. And so that's as much as I'm going to discuss on that, sir.
Okay, well, it's a point of fact, what the mortgage does is increase the cost of real estate. And it's been used as a tool to weasel itself into it, but it's actually economically what it does is that increases the price of real estate. And it's not necessary for it to do that. And it's a travesty, quite frankly. That's
Well,
brought
as
to
I
the
noted,
court
I
for
think we're done debating. I'm going to kindly ask that you maybe yield your time to someone else that somebody else speak. Any other residents, please state your name and residency.
Hello, everyone. David Atchenstein, 247 Penfield Place. I'll really try to keep it under 3 sentences. For someone who does the right thing in terms of the snow, parking at Columbia Park, it's discouraging that I'm feeling like it's feeling punished by the neighbor parking in front of the house and not being able to plow. I wish the borough and their successes to get with this towing and clearing our streets so that it could be safer and more pleasant to look at.
Okay, thank you, David. Anybody joining us virtually this evening that wants to speak? Okay, we have an in-person. Hello, Mr. Fryer.
Rich Fryer, Front Street. My concern is, yes, the borough did a great job plowing the streets. My question is, why didn't they plow to the curb? Because some of the streets in town, including mine, were 4 feet off the curb. And the cars that were left on the street during the storm, after the storm, how come the town didn't come by and clear the snow that was behind the vehicles and push it onto the curb?
I get up on that. The snow got pushed as far as we could possibly move the snow with our trucks in the backhoe. Unfortunately, when it gets to be that amount of snow, you can't get through the curbs. It's impossible.
Okay.
Unless we had like tandems, like on the state roads. It's just we can't push the snow, and it happens in all municipalities.
I'm aware, but it's just that my concern was that the mounds of snow from the vehicles that were left and got taken, which I'm happy about. The snow that was left behind them, they couldn't, the days ensuing, they should have been able to move it a little bit.
Well, yeah, we are trying to get on that. We're also trying to open up the sidewalks to make it more easier for students to walk to school. So there's over 250 intersections that we're trying to tackle, and some of the intersections are not even borough intersections or state or county roads that they're just gonna plow the snow, and then we have to kind of clean up the mess. So yeah, we are trying to clean up the snow residue or what was left from when the cars moved. We are trying to get on top of that too, but, you know, trying to clear around the school, so it makes it easier for parents to pull up to the school and park. But we are trying to work on that too.
All right.
And unfortunately, we're dealing with, today's the first time we got above freezing in
Oh, I
9
know.
days, so, and I know you know that. It makes it challenging.
No, I'm completely aware. I'm just throwing a question out there. And then
Yeah.
also because of the fact that they did do such a nice job doing it. Problem is, my concern, Plainfield residents are parking in Dunellen because our roads are plowed so much better. So now you're really fighting for parking between that and the rentals that are on the block. There is no parking on the street. That's all I have.
Speak to DD about how does that even get enforced?
Once you're a resident of the Florida area, there's nothing to do, people out park on the street.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Fryer. Wish you had better answers for you right this moment.
We'll, yeah, like I said, we'll continue trying to clear out the roads. That's.
Any other residents? We're here to listen. Please state your name and your residency. Those in person or virtually. Okay, without hearing any, we will close that portion of the meeting, public comments, and we'll move item 13, which is resolution 75, the adjournment of our meeting. So before we get there, February 17th at 7 p.m. in these chambers, or you can join virtually, is our next council meeting. So can I have a motion and a second on resolution 75 to adjourn?
Move it, Sigmund.
Second, Vandermark?
All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Okay, Aiden's gonna gavel us out. You should do it once. You want mom and dad to get a video of you? Future Mayor Aiden's gonna gavel us out. There you go. Good job.